I see a lot of excitement around SDN. I've seen a recent survey from Heavy Reading, for example, that states that about 60% of the operators are actively investigating the technology. At the same time, you're not seeing a lot of deployments these days, right? The way I see it, there's a few reasons for that. For one thing, service providers are used to standards, and there's no standards yet in this field. Secondly, not everybody sees the value in the technology. And thirdly, they see a daunting task in front of them, taking the network from today's state to an SDN-based network. Revolutions are not simple. I think of the journey to SDN like a road trip. In a road trip, you want to plan your trip so that every stop of the way is enjoyable, and you want to get a good car so that the ride is smooth. And multi-layer control does both for you. First, it takes the evolutionary path to SDN and breaks into small steps, each of which provides value to the operator. It also has a built-in shock absorber to make the ride smooth for you. There's nothing wrong with the IP controller, except the control plane of the IP layer is so good that the controller doesn't add much value. Studies have shown that centralizing the IP control adds perhaps 10% savings to the network. The problem with the optical controller is that optical systems have been managed centrally forever. So adding one more centralized entity doesn't really solve much problem. But the bigger problem is actually that the optical layer is frozen. It's subservient to the IP layer, so that every time you change something in the optical layer, you actually affect IP traffic, and the IP guys will never allow for that.
The evolutionary path to SDN has 3 steps. First, multi-layer control is added even before SDN controllers are deployed. This provides a unified view of the network, as well as insights about its state, anomalies, and risks. Next, IP SDN controllers are added. NetFusion talks to these controllers rather than directly to the network. Now, it can react more quickly to changing conditions, perform what-if analyses, and improve network resiliency. Finally, optical SDN controllers are added. This allows NetFusion to start moving things around and implement applications like multi-layer restoration and automatic optimization.
In the evolution of the network, there are a lot of unknowns. Technologies change, new vendors get added, old vendors go away. Interfaces between controllers and multi-layer control change. And all these shocks have to be absorbed so that the operation does not sense anything. And the way it's done is we have our adapters that talk to the different controllers, different entities in the network, and only they are aware of the specific language that a particular technology talks. These adapters take the information, put it in our database, and then all our applications, as well as APIs to other systems, planning tools, management systems, all of them are not even aware of the change. And that's how we absorb the shocks in the network. I heard Vijay Pandey from Google talk about how service providers should not wait for standards, but start deploying, learn in the process, and get benefit from day one. I really like that.